Hello, everyone. Welcome to Generation Red Flag. I'm a former counselor and a former crazy girlfriend. I went from a super unhealthy, toxic dating style to being in the best relationship of my life, married for 10 years, together for 15, and I want to show you how I did it. I'm going to explain why men come back after ghosting. Once I break it down, you will see clearly why. And in the future, if you choose to continue to let someone ghost you and be with them, it'll be on you. If you do not really want to know the answer, if you want to be told that it's all the guy's fault, that you are perfect in every way, then don't continue watching this. But if you want to shake things up, if you want to stop this behavior, if you want to feel in control and not ever be ghosted again, a lot of times after a guy comes back after ghosting, we like to think that all of a sudden they went on some long walk and had an epiphany that they're deeply in love with us and that's why they're back. It's not. Something else in their life has happened, especially if this is a repeat offender ghoster. You provide some sort of benefit to them, whether it is a sexual outlet, whether you make them feel good about themselves, whether you have a mothering vibe and you like clean their house and do their dishes. They're out living their life. They're out dating. They are out meeting people that they actually like that give them butterflies. They're being rejected. There's always a hierarchy. There's always someone hotter. There's somebody that they went on a date with that they really like that didn't want to continue seeing them or broke up with them. So that's when these people are going to pop back in our life. When they're feeling rejected, when they're feeling low, when they're feeling bored, when they're feeling horny. These are all times when a guy will come back after ghosting you. It's not because they realize they like you. It's not because they have had some epiphany. How are they going to have this epiphany when they're not even spending time with you? It's usually because you provide some sort of comfort. You provide something that makes them feel good about themselves. And even if it's for a temporary time, that's why they're doing it. They have an issue within their self that you fulfill. They're using you. They're using you. There, I said it. You're being used. I'm sorry. I don't say that like you're being used. Like I'm really happy about that, blah, blah, blah. I love you. You are being used. You don't deserve to be used. I'm not saying you're perfect. I'm not saying that they're 100% to blame. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you are a human being and you don't deserve to be used. You deserve better. Maybe there is some healing for you to do. Stop accepting his phone calls. Stop accepting the texts. Do not have sex with this guy. It's not easy, especially if you like someone, to be in the rejector seat. But get comfortable with it because it feels better than being ghosted by someone that you really liked and you thought things were going to go somewhere. Maybe he's lying to you, maybe whatever. Like, I don't know the exact scenario, but the point I'm trying to make is that you have power in the scenario to make different choices. Now, just like I mentioned about the women, the type of guy that would do this is a damaged person, is a immature person, is a selfish person. I'm not saying that they can never change, especially if they're a young age, but it probably won't be with you. So if you start out with being ghosted, don't think that all of a sudden you're going to be in this great marriage. Even if the guy marries you, he will ghost you. Be gone from Friday until Sunday, partying with his friends and doing God knows what. So if he's a ghoster, if he finds that acceptable, then that's the type of person that they are. It's a type of person. Not everyone would do that. They don't consider your feelings. They don't really think about you as a person. They probably are feeling low self-esteem, not feeling good about themselves, that they literally use you to prop them up and make them feel good. But they can't conceive, because their self-esteem is so low, that they would be able to really hurt someone else because they're just like, well, it's just me. Like, who cares if I don't show up? I'm nobody. Subconsciously, they may act like they have a really big self-esteem, but I'm telling you, if you're treating people like that, then you're not feeling good about yourself, or you're a sociopath, one of the two. And I hate to say this, but I have done this where I've double checked in on someone. I've created the fantasy that I like them a little bit more than I like them. After ghosting them, I'm like, hey, let's hang out again. We go on another date. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's the things that I like. I do like these 5 things about you, but these other 5 things I don't like about you. And I kind of forgot. Ghosting says a lot about the type of person that they are and where they are in their maturity level. So keep that in mind, because if they're the type of people that are ghosting you, they're just going to be exhausting. They're going to be exhausting to try to keep in a relationship. It's not possible. For this to continue, you have to be part of it. You have to open the door when they knock. If you don't open that door, they will move on because they are wanting that high without as much effort as possible. So they will move on eventually, or they'll get into a dog with a bone situation where they will try a little harder. But then if they actually ever get you, they'll be like, oh, I didn't even really like you that much to begin with. Why did I chase so hard after you? It was because you tried to pull away. And I know people that have married a guy after they ghosted them, after years of him realizing maybe I can't really do better. Then they get married. And I'm telling you, he never treats you good. Like, it's never like after 5 years of marriage, he's gonna be like, I really love and respect you. Like, this is like a man baby, immature, expects you to fill his cup. It's just a red flag. Like, you don't want to be with a ghoster. And the fact that you are chasing after a ghoster says a lot about you too. So the question becomes not why is this guy ghosting me all the time? It's why are you putting up with it? Why do you even want to be with a guy that ghosts you? Like, I know girls that if a guy would have did this to my friend, one like roommate in college, she would have laughed and like, this guy's a loser. I'm never talking to him again. Meanwhile, I would have taken the opposite approach and been like, well, why doesn't he like me? Why doesn't he like me? Again, even if I didn't fully like him, because I subconsciously had low self-esteem and I had daddy issues. My dad was a drinker, but I've healed since, read a bunch of self-help books and did some other stuff. You're doing the stuff right now. You're doing the work. I'm happy for you. Yeah. You got to work on yourself. Just because you're strong enough to say, I'm going to like break the cycle, doesn't mean you don't like the guy still. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're not attracted to someone that's not necessarily the healthiest person for you. But what it means is that you're able to identify those feelings and say, even when, like, it's like junk food or whatever. It's like, yes, this feels and tastes really, really good at the moment, but it's not going to get me where I want to be. So maybe I will have like a wrap that has some veggie in it, but also some of like cheese and some other stuff that I want, which is like the perfect mix versus like a delicious chocolate bar that is really sweet and tastes delicious and you get a high and you feel so good when the guy contacts you. Then you can't eat that every day because then it fucking ruins your health. So it's like, same with this guy. Open up your eyes. Everyone, let's get a fucking nutrition label on people when they start doing stuff like 20% unhealthy, 20% ghosting, 10% like deficient in fucking emotional communication skills. And then take accountability when we start seeing these facts. And instead of telling ourselves, well, these facts don't mean anything, I can just eat chocolate bars every day and not be unhealthy in any way. They do mean something. Let's be accountable. Let's recognize it. And we don't need to not want the chocolate bar to reject the chocolate bar. We can still be attracted to the fucking chocolate bar. You can want the chocolate bar to call you so badly. That's another thing nobody ever told me when I started having healthier boundaries. I was like, I'm actually still attracted to these really unhealthy people for me. The breaking had to come first. The breaking of the cycle, the breaking of the acceptance of people like that in my life had to come first. And then eventually I wasn't like hanging. Oh my God, I just had epiphany. So then after you stop hanging out with like, you're like, okay, I'm not going to hang out with you. I'm not going to hang out with you, blah, blah, blah. Or like maybe it happens at the beginning of the year, you hang out with this guy and then you meet another guy and then he's kind of acting the same. So you're like, you end it really quickly because you see the red flag. After a while, you stop having those type of people in your life. So you don't have anyone to miss or obsess about. Oh, and then if you just have healthier relationships, like eventually if you start cutting off the negative relationships, you'll only have the healthy relationships. And it's a lot easier to not obsess about negative relationships because they aren't there all the time. Wow, I just realized that. I think that's really damaging when you've actually dated someone, when you're in an actual relationship with them and they just like move out. Unless it's abusive. But if it's not abusive, have the conversation and be like, listen, I don't want to be with you anymore. That is something that I think almost needs long-term ghosting or something. It needs its own phrase because we as humans want closure. If you didn't get the closure, it's valid for you to be wanting that closure. But sometimes we're going to have to give our closure to ourselves, especially if the person doesn't care about you enough to A, give you the closure, or B, is not going to tell you what you want to hear. The guy's never going to really give you the brutal, honest truth. And if he does, you're not going to want to hear it. Like if the closure is, ooh, yeah, I didn't really like you that much. I used you. I didn't hate you, but you also were like, hey, do you want to sleep over on the first night? Might as well. That's what the closure is going to be. Sometimes it might be better to receive the closure yourself. So close yourself metaphorically and mentally to that person and literally and open yourself to your own heart, soul, and growth. Once you start being like, I'm going to focus on myself. I want to like get to know myself. I'm not going to accept X, Y, and Z. That is when the person comes into your life. Just when you start to be like, you know what? I think I don't want to be single, but if I had to be single, I could do it. Like I would prefer to be in a relationship, but I'm not going to die if I'm not in one. And that is when the person that is supposed to find you finds you, or vice versa. Thanks for watching. This is Generation Red Flag. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe, share. I want everyone in the world to be in love. You deserve it. I love you.